You know the roster's limited. You know the format is limited. It isn't. I'm not leaving quite yet. I just can't take any more calls. Stick around, son of a buck. You know the roster's limited. You know the format. It isn't even drafts, but it's just O versus D, whatever. You're totally limited. O-line, whatever. You're going to have walk-ons, all that kind of stuff. So what can you really hope to see and find out? The more blue and golds that I see, the easier it becomes to know kind of what matters and what doesn't matter and what to watch for. No injuries is the number one thing always. This program just can't afford it, bro. I love debating. What do you mean BVG should be coach? Call after the game then. I'm sorry. No injuries is number one. I just can't. You can't afford it. You can't do it. You can't have it. They're already struggling in that area. That's always the blanket number one thing. And so that always keep that in mind. Listen, it is crystal clear to me the staff is looking at this as let's just get through it. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I just get this vibe that they're kind of over it. They're really limited and they're just so limited with bodies. I think they're all ready for this to just be over. And I don't fault them for that. They got to be frustrated with all the physical limitations with the roster and whatever. And I understand that. So that's the vibe, man. It feels very much like they just want to get through this. Number one, the quarterback's the most obvious piece. What do you hope to learn? Oh, man. People are talking about Pat's old birthday parties. The Jersey party was a particularly interesting affair. Wow. For what I remember. The QBs. Here's the thing, man. What do you hope to learn? I guess you hope somebody never misses a throw and runs circles around everybody else, and it just becomes obvious that they're the number one guy, and then that's what's in our heads all off season. Like, I don't know, but is that realistic to think you could get out of the way they're setting this up? I don't know. How are these reps going to be split between the three guys when it's just offense, defense, and the number one O-line is the number 3 O-line because of all the injuries? What are we going to do? Who takes advantage? Does it even matter that much? How much did the staff value this data? I don't know. It just feels like a required inconvenience this year because of all the weird dynamics. And I think it's a year where Freeman was honest. They'd rather not play this, but they have an obligation to do it. And I wouldn't say that if you were relatively healthy, but you're just not. So that would be on the high end. You would hope one of these guys is just whipping the ball all over. And when they run, nobody touches them and they just look like number one. That's about as good as you could ask. That's about as much as you could ask for in this situation. So I expect to not get as much information as you want. That's what I expect. Not to get as much information as you want. And if we do, I'll be happy about it. How about we move over to the defense? Some interesting stuff coming out. Expect a lot more zone than you got from Al Golden this year with Ash. That's the overall theme, is that they're going to be more comfortable playing zone. A more slightly simplified version of the defense that gets guys to just react more than think and react. And I know Snead was talking about a more aggressive downhill approach to stopping the running game and shooting gaps. Mike Goolsby always complains about the second layer of the defense catching ball carriers rather than going downhill and hitting them there, but more catching, and he didn't like that. Snead literally brought up last week. He said, I feel like we're going to be able to fly downhill more and be more aggressive and free us up to not think as much and just react and do. I'm interested in that. I'm really interested in that. You have some key roles to fill on that D line and then back in the secondary. But I'm interested. If they mix that up a little bit, could the defense actually get better? I don't know. And then with all of this, How much of it's going to be obvious of what you're going to be able to see in this moment, in this game? I don't know. I don't know. How put together does that defense all look in the blue and gold? Is it even going to be easy to tell? I don't know. I'm sure Goolsby will be looking at it a different way than me with his playing experience, obviously, and I'll be excited to know what he thinks. So that's with quarterbacks, defense. Forget O-line. I'm not even going to mention it. Like, what? I don't even know what to say, man. They're banged up. They got guys moving around, guys still getting healthy, other guys getting hurt, other guys that are in high school and not here yet. I don't know. You're not going to get answers till August. You ain't going to get answers till August. Number 3, young guys. If you want to find a positive spin on some of the limitations this spring, here it is. You're going to have some second and third string guys and young guys that are going to get a lot of run. They're going to get a lot of run. It's very realistic to hope you see a few of these guys that were buried on the depth chart, or it's their first year in here at Notre Dame or whatever, who can flash and earn some snaps. Even if it's just, I'm an early enrollee and I'm a younger guy and I'm not fully, what I'm going to end up being or whatever. But can you get in on special teams? Can you do enough and prove with a couple big hits or whatever good that you could get in on kick coverages to find the field? Like whatever. I don't know. But if you want to find one positive from all of the extreme limitations of this spring, the one positive is a lot of backup guys and young guys are going to get a chance in this game. Maybe you can earn yourself some snaps. If I'm those guys in that camp, third, fourth string guy, early enrollee, whatever, year 2 in the program, but year 1, I didn't do much, Cam Williams, right? Something like that. Man, this is a good day for you. This is a good day for you because the staff is forced to let you play. And so this is an opportunity for all those guys to be able to seize some snaps this year. So I always look for that with young guys and backups. The next thing, anything that stands out athletically, speed around the edge, that it's just obvious a guy's burning everybody. Big hits, joystick hits where somebody's knocking the crap out of somebody. Athletic plays like J Love jumping over everybody, like whatever. That stuff stands out to you in a blue and gold game. When you see a guy with speed that looks different than everybody else out there and they go around the corner and burn you, like you know what that looks like. So I'm looking for those flashes, speed, big hits, athletic plays, that kind of stuff. The big boomstick, whatever. I'm not talking about you, Pat. The big boomstick, like whatever, right? So any of that stuff would be good. Just find a way to find more guys that could contribute to this team. You're going to have more chances. Yeah, if Cam doesn't break out in 25, when? It's a good question. I don't want him to be a forgotten man. I like his athletic traits and everything. Can we get it out there? Let's get it going. Number 5. This game's going to be entertaining because we want any Notre Dame football we could get. We want any Notre Dame football you could get. And any of it, even limited, is better than nothing. So you're going to like it because it's all you got. It's all you got. But I still maintain this program has a lot to figure out in August. There's no way around it. They have a lot to figure out in August, and there's no shortcuts. You get just as much time in August as everybody else, and you're just going to have to crunch it all into a month. I don't know what else to say. You're just going to have to crunch it all into a month, man. You got to figure out who your O-line is. You got to figure out who the starter is. And then you got a week and a half basically for them to try and all work together in a game plan before you get into Miami. Is it ideal? No, that's not an ideal setup, but it's just where we're at. It's just where we're at. So my thing the whole time is, chaos in the beginning of August because you're just not going to get answers. You're going to see some things you like to see or whatever, but you're not going to get a lot of answers. And you got to go into this game openly accepting that. You got to just openly accept you're not going to leave with the closure you seek. You're just not. It's not physically possible for you to leave with the closure you want to have. John, over under for Miller's consumed. Under. And the reason I'm saying under is doing a post-game show after, I need to make sure I'm in a good spot for that. So it's going to be under for me because I have content obligations after the game. So it's going to be under. I mean, 6 ain't no big deal, but it isn't going to be 26. You know what I mean? Like, I have professional obligations here. So we're going to enjoy the Miller Lite for breakfast, but we're not going to overdo it. Even with the game in between, I want to make sure we're in a good spot to do the post-game show. So the final thing is the staff needs to be very organized for what's coming in August. This is the final thing here. The staff needs to be very, very particular about how they're going to run August camp. And the good news is you got all the summer to be able to figure it out. But when we get into August, every single snap and every single minute needs to be accounted for with a priority and a checklist of things you want to do. There is no time to waste for this program when you get into August. So you're going to look at whatever you have for blue and gold, all this information, and they need to be really good and precise at coordinating exactly how they want to run this when we finally get back. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I need them to be very, very organized because you are going from 0 to 100. Nothing all summer, maybe a recruit here and there, whatever, nothing. And then 100 miles an hour, you're running into Miami. So that's my big takeaway. I'm predicting not a lot of answers in blue and gold. August, early camp chaos. And they got to be real on top of it. And real precise. My main man, Martinez, not having a show Friday because I'll be driving to Notre Dame that morning. So not going to have a show then. I want a 28 waist like John. I'll have you know, I've gained like 30 pounds since the season, bro. All that stress and Notre Dame anxiety, I'm back up to where like a non-dead person's body weight should be. Literally, I've gained like 30 pounds since the beginning, like the middle of the football season. At which for a lot of people would make them like overweight. For me, that puts me in the non-death range for my skeleton carcass. All right, I love you guys. I like the energy this week heading into the game and everything. I really appreciate everybody being here. I'm really sorry I wasn't able to take more calls. I'll have maybe 1 or 2 videos for you tomorrow, maybe one in the morning, and then maybe one for the recruit if he picks Notre Dame. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in town for blue and gold. Holler at your boy. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.